Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm here with Ro Brown.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah,
How y'all are?
yeah,
As
yeah,
Cajuns
yeah.
say.
Well,
How y'all are?
I am blessed to have yet another day. The Lord blessed me with another day. Woke me up, put my feet on the floor, got me to our black radio station, and I am excited to join Ro Brown, especially after last night.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Bowl
Thank
and
you.
everything.
Thank you.
And
I'm excited.
Jared,
Glad to
who
be
had
here.
a thought or two about
Where
Super Bowl.
you at, Jared? Where you at?
So we are going to have a good show today, and I am looking forward to this. We had a special election, 3 of them, actually. So we're going to be talking about that during the show because we had a winner in one race, and we had 2 runoffs in the other 2 races. So yes, there's another election coming.
Runoff in March.
Yeah, yep. So we got 1 winner and 2 runoff candidates, depending on which district you live in, and they're definitely an opportunity for you to regroup and choose your candidate, cast your ballot, and see who wins in March next month. And meanwhile, we got a state representative-elect, Ed Murray, for State Representative District 97. So he won because the 50% plus 1 isn't required in a 2-person race. So it's whoever gets the most votes, and he got the most votes over Mr. Eugene Green III. So congratulations to younger Ed Murray, and he's got a fast turnaround to get ready for the legislature. Yep, and we have a lot of things that happened on this weekend because, of course, it's carnival season, and we had lots of parades, lots of parties, lots of activities out there. But did you hear about the parade where somebody's foot was rolled over?
Yes. Also heard about the parade where they cleared a float.
Yeah, that too.
They cleared a float.
Yeah.
The police cleared a float
Mm-hmm.
of riders.
Mm-hmm.
What was the deal with that?
Well, that was with the crew of Calton. And apparently they got a little too aggressive with throwing beads and seemed to be more targeted with the throwing of the beads. Not in a nice way.
Targeting
At the New Orleans police officers.
Oh, okay.
It's like, what the heck? Y'all know police are out like everywhere. There's like literally hundreds on the street. And you're going to get aggressive, not with somebody who made you mad in the crowd, but somebody, for whatever reason, made you mad or not, but it's a police officer?
Yeah.
I don't think that was a smart move.
Was anyone arrested?
I am not aware of anybody who was arrested, but this one float, they kicked off, the whole parade kicked off early Sunday afternoon on the Uptown route. And this was the one between Femme Fatale and King Arthur.
Right. Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything about whether there were arrests. So that'd be a heck of a warning if they just say get off the float, stop parading, and go home.
I guess that's what they did.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm watching it because I mean, Lordy B.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were talking about someone at the foot.
Oh no. Don't be sorry at all because that happened on Friday night, and that was at the Oshon parade.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
I mean, by the float or by the tractor pulling the float?
Well, This was along
Because
St.
most floats the wheels are covered by the float, you know?
Mhm. Well, the woman reported that her foot was run over by a float. So this was about 8:31 p.m. on Friday, and she reported that her foot had been run over during the course of the parade. The police didn't specify which parade was passing when she was injured, but
Mhm.
it seemed to be timed with O'Shawn, according to what we know. So a little sketchy, but like you said, how does
Yeah.
that happen?
I mean, you don't even see the wheels of the float
But
most of the time.
maybe she was imbibing and she thought the tractor was afloat.
I don't know.
Or maybe she thought the scooter was
know.
afloat. Or the bike moving along in the parade was afloat.
Yeah. I mean, the
I
only
mean-
wheels of a float that even catches my attention is, which is the last parade that's still using like the wagons.
Yeah.
You know, on Monday, it's a Lundi Gras parade. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Other than that,
yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a little football game yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. A
Who
little
played?
little football game.
Saints?
In my dreams.
No,
But
no,
they're
your
going to
dream-
make it.
your dream was answered
They-
16 years ago.
Yes.
So don't-
And I
don't.
still cherish that moment. I still cherish that moment. Well, there were a couple of teams in it: New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks. And there was a result with that that made news for different kinds of reasons. And there was a music piece that made news as well. But we're going to take a break right now. And when we come back, we're going to talk some more about what happened last night at the NFL Super Bowl. I'm Will Sutton. This is Ro Brown. Stay tuned, please, because we got more coming your way. We're going to be talking with Jeannie Jacobs about her book, and we're going to be looking at more things with the election as well. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show on WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been in tune with us since 7 or a bit after that, I am Will Sutton, stumbling a little bit, and this is Ro Brown.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And it is 7:13 a.m., and look, folks, it's a school day, so watch out for the kiddos on their way to school. Please, please, please watch out. Make sure you're safe. Make sure they're safe. Watch out for the ones buried with their faces buried in the phones, and watch out for yourself so you can avoid the crazy drivers and keep the crazy drivers out of the way of the kids. That speed zone limit is 20 miles per hour and continues until 9, so you got a bit yet. And if you're trying to be there at 7:15, I hope you're real close. All right? So we're going to have a special treat for you in a bit, but right now we're going to be talking about what the heck happened out in, well, it's not in San Francisco. It's
Santa Clara.
Near San Francisco.
Santa Clara.
Ro Brown, we had a game, didn't we?
Yes. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, 29-13 over the New England Patriots. Seahawks win their second Super Bowl title. And this is year 50. Yeah, they got 50 on their uniforms. It's the 50th year of that franchise.
Wow.
So, and if you're interested, they are for sale.
Are they really?
Yeah. They're going to sell them. They're going to be sold.
Wow.
It's just a question of who's going to buy them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
It's going to happen pretty soon. Well, the family, the Allen family, Paul Allen, the big guy, they guess they don't want to fool with it anymore. But, yeah, it's going to be sold. That's a known fact. That's not secret.
So this is increasing the sales price.
It does. I would think so. Yes, I would think so. But yeah, it was a good game. Went the way that I think most people thought it was going to go. Kenneth Walker III, MVP, first running back to win it since Terrell Owens. And my God, that was in the 90s.
Wow, is that
That's almost
right?
30 years ago. Yeah.
Since the 90s?
When the Denver Broncos won 2 in a row. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Good,
Yeah.
good for him.
It's been 30 years ago since a running back.
But you didn't have to wait until the announcement to know who the MVP was, right?
I didn't think so. Some people, some people thought it may have been the kicker.
I can see
5
that.
field goals. It's a Super Bowl record,
Yeah, I could see that. Now, that would have been way out there.
But the game, it was interesting. The kickoff. The Patriots kicked to, the Patriots, I think they deferred. I don't remember. Anyway, the Patriots kicked off to the Seahawks. And both players who were back to receive the kick for Seattle started the season with the Saints.
Oh, I guess that's right. Hadn't thought about that way. Of course, Rashid.
Shaheed and the other, Velus Jones, was with the Saints. In training camp and early in the year.
Yeah. Well, worked out okay for those guys, huh?
Just a little. Yeah,
worked out okay.
Yeah, worked out just fine, Got a little Super Bowl share and a ring, and
And the money that goes with it.
That's the share I'm talking about. The Super Bowl share. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Boy.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was quite a game. Pretty defensive game.
Yeah, it was a defensive game. Some people, I'm sure, in the first half may have thought it was boring, but, it really wasn't boring.
Wow.
To me. But, yeah, so congratulations to the Seahawks.
Wow. And you...
by the way, both of these teams were not in the playoffs at all last year. Both.
Fascinating.
Both were,
Fascinating.
4-13 or something, their records
right.
were. Yeah.
Well, we got a surprise for you all. So, Ro, you watched the halftime show?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
You did.
I liked it.
I did too.
I liked it. Yeah,
and I don't speak Spanish.
I know.
I know.
I
enjoyed that.
The only words I understood was "God bless America" at the end. That's it.
I already wrote that.
That's it. That's all I understood. Okay, but
All
I'll
right.
tell you why I like
Yeah.
it. You know, get
All
to
right.
get to our guest.
Well, we got a special treat for you guys. We got CBS lead national correspondent, incredible storyteller from CBS Mornings, David Begnaud, Louisiana native. You were at the game, weren't you, yesterday?
We were there. I was there, man. I loved it. I loved the show.
Well, you're on with Will Sutton and Ro Brown, our local sports legend.
Good point. I don't,
I
David,
have to
I don't
put
know
that
about
in.
all that. Okay, the sports legend thing, you know. But let me say that my favorite show is CBS Sunday Morning.
Well, then we thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
So, David, do you always go to the Super Bowl?
No, please, no. I got invited. I got invited this year, and I was like a kid in a candy store. In fact, I watched very little of the game. I mean, it was. I sort of had a dream ticket and got lucky and had the best time.
Wow. So, how many Super Bowls have you been to?
How many Super Bowls have I been to?
Yeah.
This is the first one that I've actually gone to in person. I'm just like I'm a regular guy who watches it on
All
television.
right. This was the first one, huh, David? Yeah, okay, I got you.
First one in person.
In person.
Yeah, right. Well, how did it compare to the Saints winning the Super Bowl since you're Louisiana born and bred?
Well, nothing compares to being able to see the Saints, go Saints. But, look, there is something electric about watching, fathers and sons and brothers and best friends all show up at what is, look, we live in this world where I remember, let's say when I was growing up as a kid, and I ain't that old, but when I grew up as a kid, we lived in sort of this monolith culture where everybody was watching kind of the same stuff. And things are so fragmented these days.
Right.
It's hard to find events where it feels like everybody's behind it, everybody's watching. And that felt like it yesterday. And so it's nice to have those events across America where it feels like just about everybody is either watching, cares about it, or has something to say about it.
Well, and that brings me to the halftime show. Now, I was at home watching, and I came to know the name Bad Bunny a few years ago, and I don't speak Spanish. But it was amazing
I'm still working
to
on my
me.
English. You're not the only one.
It was amazing to me, and I saw a post that you did on X, formerly Twitter, and I was like, David, you're there.
He was jealous, David. He
and-
was jealous.
And did I see a tear?
Yeah, you definitely saw a tear. But listen, just so everybody understands, I went to cover Hurricane Maria when it devastated Puerto Rico in 2017.
Yeah.
I knew very little about the island. I want to be clear. I went in ignorant to its culture, its history, all of that. And when you come to learn a people's culture, I'm Cajun. I'm from Cajun country. We got Cajun music. If you play that on television and you sing in Cajun French like we do, a lot of people might be like, what the hell is that? So the bottom line is you don't have to speak Spanish to feel what came from last night's performance. Now, listen,
Amen.
Bad Bunny uses his platform to make statements. Well, freedom of speech, right? That's what we all believe in. So that's number one. Number two, I got emotional because the people of Puerto Rico have been treated like second-class citizens for decades. That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
Yep.
And as a reporter, I went to document it.
Right.
And so what made me emotional, Will, was seeing Bad Bunny on this stage representing the island, which is a U.S. territory, which its people became U.S. citizens in the early 1900s because the U.S. needed them to fight in its war.
Spanish
okay?
American.
And
Yep.
and right. And so if you study a little bit of the history, you understand why the Puerto Rican people are a very proud people. And I heard some people on social media saying, well, they have their own flag. That's disrespectful. We have our own flag in Louisiana. It's called the state flag.
Yeah.
Every state's got its own flag. So we shouldn't be complaining about the flag. It made me emotional, and that's what you saw a tear fall. I didn't even know I was being recorded. My partner recorded it.
Yeah.
But I got emotional because I was like, the Puerto Ricans, I am so proud to see them, him, and what they represent on this big stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
well, David, you weren't the only one who was ignorant of Puerto Rico's culture and everything when you went to cover the hurricane, because the president was too. Because I don't think he knew that Puerto Ricans are Americans, basically.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they vote and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. Okay. You know?
Yeah. Well, they vote in Puerto Rico.
They
Don't have federal voting.
Yeah,
privileges.
they got people at the conventions, okay?
Yeah.
They got delegation and everything. But anyway, yeah, I liked it, David, because I don't speak Spanish either. Okay, I didn't understand a word. Like I said, God Bless America was the only thing. But
Yep.
I guess maybe it's because I worked in television. That was the most flawlessly produced halftime show. I mean, I timed it from the last play of the first half to the kickoff was 33 minutes. That means that within that 33 minutes, they set up all that stuff on that field. Because when you think about how many different scenes they had
Oh, incredible.
in this,
Yeah.
okay, and to do that in the 13, 14 minutes or whatever, okay, without what looked like without a hitch.
Yeah.
I love that you brought that up. Because
It was, it was entertaining to me because I didn't understand a word they said. And, I'm glad that he was here last year, but I didn't understand a word Kendrick Lamar said either for the Sugar Bowl when he was here. But this was so slickly produced.
Right.
And people dance, okay? You're entertained by people dancing, you're entertained by
Absolutely.
people playing music, and that's what it was. It was colorful. It was the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
I recorded the whole behind the scenes because I, like you, was so impressed with the choreography of the setup.
Yeah.
When you see those, okay, every time you saw Bad Bunny, there was a guy with a camera who had the camera. It's what we call a steady cam.
Mm-hmm.
And they were running around like ants, dude. Okay?
Yeah,
it
David.
was so impressive.
I know,
to
and I'm
see it
thinking,
happen.
he's backing up. He's got to fall at some point.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That cameraman has to trip at some point. Okay, I would think,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, please don't trip.
All right. Well, great. I just loved it. And, it's not like I feel like I want to say this every day, every week, every month, but I was proud to be an American.
Yeah,
It really was. It's
yeah.
like, look at us. We can take in another culture that really is a part of our culture
Mm-hmm.
and highlight that and enjoy it.
And I'm going to assume all those flags were flags of the Americas at the end of the thing. Okay? When it
Bingo.
came up with all,
Yeah,
I
bingo.
assume.
Right,
I assume
right.
that's what that was,
All right.
because he was naming countries and all that
That's
at the
right.
end. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, David,
The message was inclusion, right?
Yes.
And I think, I'll end with this. Louisiana is a melting pot of various cultures.
yes.
And if we are going to celebrate the Cajuns and the Creoles and everything we have in Louisiana, why would we not celebrate a guy who got on stage as proud as he was to be Puerto Rican and to be a U.S. citizen and basically left us with a message of, just being together, right? Harmony and inclusion. I mean, that's a great message to me. And I love the show. And I don't speak Spanish either.
Right. Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us so early from out on the West Coast.
Ooh, that's right.
That's right, bro.
I
He got
forgot
up.
about
yeah,
that.
when he got up, it was
Hey,
earlier than you.
I came on for you, and now I'm going to do CBS Mornings. I'm
All
on
right.
Saturday live television.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, my friend. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
day. Have a blessed day. All right. Good talking with David.
Yeah.
Good to have that on the ground perspective.
Indeed.
And folks, we're going to be talking with Jeannie Jacobs when we come after the break. This is WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Starting off a new work week, we are expecting to be into the 70s all week and also more days with fog in the mornings as that humidity is starting to increase. Today, we'll see partly cloudy skies, highs between the low 70s to the mid 70s, and then we're expecting a midweek chance for rain on Wednesday, but then watching for this weekend as we could see potential storms for Saturday. Still working out the timing and details. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
My name is Armand Gillespie.
And this is Philip Thomas.
And we are the Bald Online Podcast, where we cover all the major sports topics. But today, we come to you all to talk about a more serious topic.
Suicide prevention. A little less than a week ago, a young, talented football player named Marshawn Nealon took his life after scoring his first NFL touchdown.
We stress the importance of life and how precious every person is. We on Bald Online Podcast hope, if you're ever going through anything, to please reach out to a loved one.
And if you think you have no one to turn to, please call 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Remember, you are loved and cherished in every possible way.
Peace and always love from us. And remember, ball don't lie. Peace.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Saturday, February 14th, join WBOK for a special LCMC Health edition of Keeping You Well Cafe. Meet me, Kimber White Dupree, Endymion Saturday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. outside the University Medical Center. I'll be broadcasting live in front of the parade route, and a special team of medical professionals will be stopping by, ready to give you tips to keep you healthy this carnival season. Don't miss this special edition of LCMC Health, Keeping You Well Cafe, and WBOK Broadcasting live on Saturday, February 14th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. LCMC Health, tomorrow starts here.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. To those of you all who have been listening to us, lending your ears and your brain cells to engage with us this morning, thank you to our WBOK family of listeners and watchers, because we know some of you all are on AM radio and some of you all are on the internet, YouTube, or Facebook Live. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Ro Brown.
Good morning.
What
good
a
morning,
good conversation about that. I love that Saints notation you made about the Super Bowl.
Which one?
About former Saints.
Okay.
Helping to win the day.
Okay. Okay.
Saints didn't make it.
Yeah.
Didn't come close. Didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. So good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we can have people in the family and they branch off, go do other things, and we want good things for them.
Yep.
So that certainly happened to them.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, it's 7:32 a.m., folks, and it is time to make sure that you slow down. The school zone effect is in effect. 20 miles per hour. 20 miles per hour around our schools. Be careful. The speed zone limit, 20 miles per hour, is in effect until 9 a.m. So y'all be careful out there. Shout out to the bus drivers and the assistant principals on transportation duty, keeping everybody safe. Right now, it's Black History Month, and we're going to be jumping into a conversation with Jenny Jacobs, who is a wife, a mom, entrepreneur, author, cook. I mean, she's got all kinds of titles.
Everything.
And Jenny, good morning. You're on with Will Sutton and Ro Brown.
Good morning.
How
Thank
are
you for having me.
Absolutely. How's the weather where you are?
I haven't stepped outside, but it's actually, I think it's a little warm here in Houston. Yesterday was hot.
Okay. Yeah, we had some of that in New Orleans. So we're getting into the low 70s, I think, today. So we'll see. So look, you have been busy, young lady.
I have.
With all kinds of things. But in particular, you've got this book, Welcome to My Table. So before we get to that, so that our WBOK family of listeners knows who they're listening to, before Welcome to My Table, who was Jenny Jacobs?
I was an OBGYN, 20 years delivering everybody's baby, creating beautiful families. Tired, and I didn't have time for myself or my family.
Did you want to be an OBGYN?
Yes. In fact, I didn't realize I'm from South Carolina. My great-grandmother and some of the ladies in my family, they were midwives. I didn't realize that until I went to a funeral. And I have some cousins who are also OBGYN. So it's kind of in the family blood, so to speak.
Yep. So you lived that dream.
I did.
And set it aside.
I certainly did. And no regrets.
And you have another dream.
Yes.
And you're on that journey. Describe that new dream before we jump into Welcome to My Table.
That new dream came about, like I said, I didn't have time for me or my family. And those moments, those precious moments with my children were passing me by. I grew up in South Carolina, and I realized at one point in my life how important it was for me to be with my family, to connect, to slow down, to sit at that table, have those moments because they shaped you. And I wanted that for my children. So I came home and I started cooking more. The next thing I had people in my house. I was entertaining more. People kept coming back. And the stories that came around my table and the stories I remembered hearing and growing up in South Carolina about church, about what my grandparents did, civil rights movements, those stories came out. And it came in the form of this book along with recipes. So the book is full of stories, of course, great recipes that are replicable, meaning that if you can't cook or you feel intimidated by it, you can make these recipes and you can wow yourself and everyone else and make them over and over again. But the book is also interactive. You get a cookbook, the pictures are beautiful. I want you to make these recipes. I want you to click the QR codes or scan them in the book where you can see clips on how to make these different recipes. There are tutorials in the book where you learn how to set up a tablescape. I have a very simple formula. It's only 3 steps, and you can wow people with your tablescapes without feeling overwhelmed. There's a musical playlist in this book as well, and I teach you how to scentscape because, first thing that people feel when they walk in your home, it's not really the smell of the food or what you got on your table, it's the smell of your house. It's the ambiance, the warmth that you create. So I teach you how to do that well.
Wow. All right, Jenny.
Doc, I'm just curious. How old were your children when you made this decision that you weren't, with them enough for, I guess, is that the right way to put it?
Yes, it was like 4 years ago. So my daughter, she'll be 15 soon. So she was 11, and she's a big junior golfer. So she was flying all over the country and the world playing golf, still is. So I was missing out on that. And just, I had one daughter. I want her to have essence of mommy. I don't want her to know that all mommy did was work. I saw her every 36 hours. That's not good. And my son is now, he just turned 12, so he was 8. So He's a baby, and to tell you, when I walked in that door and said I was never going back to work, that boy was on rockets. It's like my mama is home.
All right. Wow. That's great. All right. So I want to jump into some of what you said. Help me with the scentscape. So let me just put myself out there, okay? I have been one of those people who goes to the store. As a part of what I put in the basket is some air freshener. I try to mix it up a bit and get some different types. And I do use it. Of course, always use it in a special room. And then in other parts of the home. If people are coming over, I try to grab the most special of the cheapest that I bought. And spray. But that's probably not what you're talking about with Scentscape.
Not quite. You got an idea, yeah.
Oh, where do I start?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't buy air fresheners at the store because a lot of them have toxic components. Being a physician and watching people getting ill because of things they breathe in, I stay towards the more, or I guess, vegan type products that don't have paraffins in it, toxins, et cetera, because, you don't want to trigger an asthma attack in your home or any kind of crazy allergies. So my product line is Pivotal Moments. It's a home fragrance line. So all my products are safe. They're vegan certified. So I get a candle that's free of paraffins and wax and all that crazy lead wicks, and I burn my candle. I choose one scent to fit the moment, whatever my theme or how I'm feeling about my event or who's coming over. I'll pick that one candle I think is suitable. I burn it 30 minutes before the person arrives or the group arrives at my home. In the meantime, as I'm in my kitchen, I set up everything, the table, the food, and I love when people sit down. I want them to sit down, not only see beautiful food, but to feel the warmth, the care that I put in. So when they sit in that chair, before they sit in that chair, about 20 minutes, 10 minutes before they sit at the table, I spritz my chairs or the pillows that I use for them or the throw that they may need with a linen spray that complements my candle. So I make sure I do that to make that cozy environment. I even do this in my own bedroom. I do it in my bathroom, just to create that warmth and ambiance to make people feel at ease, to feel welcome, to say, hey, welcome to my home, welcome to my table. So that's what I do in my home as far as scentscaping. I try to keep it very simple. Don't have a lot of competing scents that would drive your nose crazy, but I want people to feel the warmth and the love.
So you focus on a scent as
A
opposed
scent.
to here's three cans of spray that, different ones in different houses. I'm
Remember, you're
I'm
not
learning.
killing flies, okay?
Yeah, right. I'm going to be working on my scentscape. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have Doc. I don't have your book in front of me, so I'm trying to figure out, and I'm asking a question and tell me if this is a dumb question because I ask a lot of dumb questions. Do you have a recipe in there, or pick a recipe in there, and tell me how that relates with you in Black History Month? Is that a good question?
Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, that's great. There are actually two. You all in Louisiana. So I actually lived in Alexandria, Louisiana for like 8 years.
All right.
When I started off. Yeah.
Rapides
when I
Parish.
Got there, yes, Rapides Parish. When I got there, everyone was drinking something called almond iced tea. It floored me. It was the most beautiful drink ever. So that almond iced tea, going to church down there, listening to Reverend Lawson preach, the Sunday dinners, that is one of my key beverages in the book. I don't know all the history about it, but all the ladies said, you got to have it at every event. It brings the stories. It brings people together. That's your church. That's your afternoon church pause. So that's one of them. But the big one for me is my mom's chicken pot pie. I grew up on it. This has been passed down to generations from my family. The biscuits, We're talking about a biscuit topping where the biscuits are at least 2 inches thick, the creamy, ooey, like juicy chicken that you get and all of the veggies in that. That came from my family. My mom said she's been doing it, my grandmother, and so forth. That's a dish that brought everybody to the table from church, and it still does today. That's where my grandparents sat at the table and they entertained, people from Martin Luther King's, camp back in the day. My mom has pictures of this. It is everything. It unites us. That is the dish from my book. That's what started it for me.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's very good. Very cool. All right, so let's jump over to the table because you got me hooked. I'm interested in my scaping. I got you on the sense-scaping, so my table-scaping. All right, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm sure I'm one of just a few among all of our WBOK family of listeners. But I go to the store, I get my paper towels, I get my napkins from the paper aisle. I do have some linen napkins and things that I will pull out at different points, but use them at, certain points when certain people are coming over, that kind of thing. But it's not an everyday occurrence. I got my silverware. I got my knives, my forks, my spoons, and teaspoons, all of that kind of thing. I do a setting. I put my my fork on the left on the napkin. I put my knife on the right, and depending on whether there's a spoon or anything, I might pull out something else. But generally, if I'm going to be eating at the dining room table with my wife, I try to clear the space at least. But I'm not lighting a candle. And sometimes it's on paper and not. It's definitely not on china. But I got other plates. So where am I falling short?
Okay, actually, you're not falling short.
Okay.
You don't have to have the finest of china to set a table space.
Okay.
And I mix high and low all the time. I will have like a beautiful paper plate. I go to Home Goods store and I find some really cool things, bring them home. They're paper, they're plastic. Sometimes I'll add to that, like my fancy, stemware. I'll go get the water for the background right out of the counter and just put it out there. Don't be afraid to mix high and low. It is what it's all about is intention, okay? It's not about perfection. And I think people get hooked up on that. Everything's got to be perfectly placed. Everything has to be perfectly shiny. No, it's intention. You be intentional about what it is. You want a nice dinner with your wife. And setting up that table the best way you can, and that's really pretty, that brings out that warmth and care, she's going to know it. So don't get hooked into that. Go ahead and get your paper plate. Get your paper napkins or your linen napkins. Put it on the plate. You don't actually have to put your fork on the left side and your spoon on the right or whatever. You can put it directly on the plate and place it very nicely. Go to the yard if you don't have a flower or you don't feel like going and getting roses. Cut a stem of something out there, even as a greenery, and put it on the table,
Wow.
If you don't feel like lighting a candle, it's okay.
Okay.
If you have to use that little spray thing or you feel, if you make a dish or something, spray that room.
I think I can get some candles. I can get some candles. Sister deserves some candles.
That's right. She does. If you're in a pinch, you can do that quickly.
Okay. So as we continue talking about your book, Welcome to My Table, is Welcome to My Table something that is year-round, like History Month, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Super Bowl? How do you want people to use Welcome to My Table?
It is year-round. It has recipes that can be, replicated throughout the year. Concepts are always evergreen. So it is what I call the reference book. This is your base for effortless, entertaining or hosting, because your whole goal, again, is not about perfection. It's about intention. It's about creating spaces that invite people in and don't feel performative. That's the key. So this book is your reference, your guide to effortless hosting or entertaining.
All right, you guys are here talking about, having dinner together at the table and all that good stuff. All that
Are you
good
a TV
stuff.
tray guy?
No, just wait. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. I'm being kind of facetious here, Doc. I'm just asking a question, that I think other people were thinking out there, I don't know when was the last time somebody's out there thinking that I ate dinner with my brother or with my mother or whatever, or with my, you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Yeah, there are people who are saying that right now, So why is that important? And I'm asking that question because I can tell you that for me personally, the best thing that came out of Hurricane Katrina for somebody like me who lost everything was that me, my mom, my two aunts went to St. Louis. My two sisters and my brother were there, my aunts, and that for the first time in almost 50 years, we all sat down and had dinner together every day for about a year. Okay, and it wouldn't have happened like Katrina.
Yeah, right.
But so my question is, I probably kind of answered it for myself, but other people, why is that important?
That connection. You got to connect. You got to gather. It makes you sane. It grounds you. I think that is so important. I think that's what a lot of people in this country are missing, especially children. They don't know what it is to be grounded, to connect with those people. They're going to really influence you. They're going to stimulate you, make you grow, and develop who you really need to be.
Well, I love that answer, and when I hear book, I have to say, I don't usually think of QR codes and show me how, but if you're gonna have a book where you're gonna show me, why not a cookbook? How'd you come up with that idea? That's pretty cool.
I guess having kids, and that's how children are plugged in. They like, show me now. Don't show me later. I don't want to figure it out. Let me see what it is. And it sparks curiosity. And, as I, began to cook years ago, I always said in my head, I wish that I had a Julia Child in my kitchen because I used to like to watch her a lot. And that kind of sparked that interest. I said, why not put a little video clip of most of these recipes that people can refer to, say, aha, I'm moving in the right direction with this recipe. This is what it should look like at this point. And that's what we did.
Very cool. Very nice. So how can people get the book?
Well, first of all, you can go to my website. It's justjeanniejacobs.com, and you can order the book there. When you order the book, you will get a signed copy of the book, as well as a free digital download, which is a hosting guide.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get it on Amazon as well. You can also get it through Barnes & Noble, Whetstones if you're in the UK. And there's a Walmart just picked it up too. You can
What? You're in Walmart?
I know.
Oh!
Ooh, big time. Big time.
It's crazy.
Wow. That's wonderful. Good for you. Good for you. For our WBOK family of listeners, we've been talking with Jeannie Jacobs. She's the author of Welcome to My Table. Fantastic information. Gonna force me to up my game with the scentscape and the tablescape and the settings, and whoo, it's not that hard. It's what I'm hearing you say.
It is not a hurry. You have to change that mindset. If you don't dine with people, you can do that for yourself.
Absolutely.
When you get so busy working, scarfing down food, sit down, put a plate in front of you, not a fast food like paper, and with a napkin. Tell you, it makes a difference because you start thinking, you start slowing down.
Wonderful. And that website is justjeanniejacobs.com. And just in case you spell Jenny different ways, this is the one. JustJeannieJacobs.com. Did I get that right?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for getting up and spending some of your morning with us here on the Good Morning Show on WBOK with Will Sutton and Ro Brown. You got me thinking, and now I got to take action. So I'm gonna be doing that, Ms. Jacobs, Dr. Jacobs, Chef Jacobs,
Yeah.
Mommy Jacobs.
Whole
All
works.
right. Well, thank you so much
All
for
right.
joining us. Really appreciate it. You have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Great conversation. I learned a thing or two. Oh boy. Well, folks, it's 7:53 a.m. and we're gonna take a break. I want to remind you that the kiddos are on their way to school. Please be careful. Watch out for them. Watch out for yourselves. Watch out for the crazy drivers, because I know it's not you. But just do the right thing. Drive safely at 20 miles per hour if you're around the schools, and drive the speed limit if you're driving elsewhere. The talk line is 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. We're going to be hearing some about the election, and we're going to talk with Mr. 411, Jacques Morial. He's going to be on the show. We're also going to hear from Silas Lee, professor at Xavier University and political analyst, and expect that we'll hear from our new state representative for District 97, Ed Murray. All of that coming up soon on the Good Morning Show. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. After years of corporate boards diversifying, there's one group of people that are seeing a spike in hiring: white men. Bloomberg Equality reporter Jeff Green says that despite the larger DEI pullback across big companies, this shift might be because of a different reason.
The emphasis is on people who are CEOs or former CEOs. They're looking for that expertise, and over the last 5 years, that has been less emphasized. When you go for diverse candidates, you're just, by definition, they are much less likely to have been a CEO.
While the rise in adding white men as board members isn't related to the greater DEI pullback in the corporate world, it does highlight how a lack of diversity historically in big businesses is still having an impact on hiring today. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show, right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Thank you for listening. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Ro Brown.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
If you got to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, it's in 3 minutes, so maybe it's on the other side of your bed, or you're pulling in a parking lot, or you open the door with your magnetic employee card, so you can go ahead and get to the desk, or just run to the break room like you've been there for a bit. So, okay. So, but do it safely. Do it safely. We want everybody to get where they're going safely this morning, including the kiddos. All right. So watch out for those school zones. Did you learn a thing or two, Ro?
Yes, I did. Yes.
I really did.
I could see that. Yeah, you were excited and enthusiastic about it. You know, I could see in your eyes when she was saying this stuff. You're going, never thought about that.
Yeah, and not a moment did she mention romance. But you know,
Yeah.
I mean, some of this is
You
like
have to,
you're
yeah.
not like dating
It's not-
your friends or guests who are coming
not
over.
that kind of,
But for somebody special in your life who you want to keep around, you do some of this stuff. It's like a nice touch. Nice touch.
Yeah,
You don't have to do it every day.
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed. She said, you know, it's just for anybody. Just, you know, coming in, you know, when you walk in, you know, everybody. I mean, whether you think about it or not, you get a certain scent or a certain smell. Or, and that has something to do with the feeling you get when you're in there. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Never thought about it a lot, but makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And for anybody who might visit us on any regular basis, not that we have lots of people coming and going, they might know the scent when they come in, as opposed to the scent of the moment, the scent of the day. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, I learned I'm going to be working on my scentscape and my tablescape, and I think I'm going to have to check out some of those videos because I use recipes, and then there are the recipes that are in my mind that they're recipes, but then there's a little this, a little that kind of cooking as well. But I like the idea of show me what I'm reading. I like that.
I think she used the term approachable recipes.
Yes.
Because that means easy.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
I guess.
I think so. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And looks like I'm going to be learning more as I put into practice some of the things we learned from Miss Jenny Jacobs on this morning, right here on the Good Morning Show. Well, it is time to take a break, folks. And so when we come back, we're going to be jumping into conversation about the special elections that we had. There were several across the state, but in New Orleans, there were 3 in particular. And we're going to talk about those. And we're going to be hearing from State Representative-elect Ed Murray from District 97. And we're also going to hear from Jacques Morial and Dr. Salas Lee, putting the special election into some context. And we'd love to hear from you. Talk line is 504-582-9422. Ro, for the people who might like to hear the number from you, a different voice.
Please. We need people to talk with us. Call the WBOK 12:30 a.m. talk line at 504-582-9422. That's 504-582-9422.
All righty. There you have it. You're listening to WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Hi, I'm Imani Godin, founder of Godance. Godance is a nonprofit interdisciplinary dance organization rooted in New Orleans, providing access to dance education and sustainable, wellness-centered art practices. Right now, you can be a part of this work by participating in our Key to Your Heart house raffle. Our programs are open, inclusive, and community-centered, supporting artists, students, and creatives at every stage. Your involvement helps expand access, education, and opportunity for artists of all ages. To learn more and get involved, visit Godance, GAUDANSE.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026. The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A West Suburban St. Charles daycare worker in Illinois is accused of giving chewable laxatives to children 2 and under. One mother is speaking out.
We found out from the director that she had fired her employee because she allegedly was giving them these laxatives and saying that it was candy so that they could get sent home because she was overwhelmed.
Police say 23-year-old Giselle Juarez is charged with attempted aggravated battery and child endangerment. A month-long nurses' strike in New York City may be nearing an end as the union and 3 hospitals say they're moving closer to a deal, but both sides remain divided over pay raises for the 15,000 nurses who've been off the job since early January. And the thriller Send Help topped the weekend box office with $10 million in its second week. Solo Mio followed up second with over $7 million, while indie horror Iron Lung followed with $6 million. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is 8:04 a.m. on this bright and beautiful sunny day. Man, what weather, what weather. It's
nice.
It's, I don't mean to stick the knife in, but when I talk to friends in the Northeast, Midwest, and ask about the weather, it's like, we've had our little cold spell, even some days where if you have gloves, you could put them on and feel more comfortable, but it comes and goes.
Yeah, I like to tell them, man, it's chilly here. It's 58.
You're right.
Yeah, and they're, about 6 inches of snow.
Yep.
And, all that.
Yep. Well,
icy roads and stuff.
Well, we had good weather on Saturday. Yeah, there were a bunch of parades and other things going on, but there was something really important happening, and that was in New Orleans, 3 special elections. So we're going to get Mr. 411, Jacques Morial, on the line with us, and we'll be hearing shortly from State Representative-elect for District 97, Ed Murray, and we'll also have Solace Lee join us as well. Good morning, Jacques Morial. You're on with Will Sutton and Ro Brown. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Will.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, man, thank you so much for joining us. It's always wonderful to get your insights on any variety of things, not just campaigns and elections, but so many other things. But today we're going to talk about the special election. Really appreciate your coming in last week as we were gearing up for the big, special, but low turnout election. And so now we have results, and I appreciate your joining us to provide some context in a bit. We're going to have Solace Lee join us, and before that, we're going to hear from the state representative-elect himself, Ed Murray. So what's your overview, Jacques, with what you saw? I mean, we had some low turnout overall, but higher than some might have thought, I think. But what's your take?
Well, we did have a low turnout, and we expected a low turnout for a variety of reasons. This is a special elections, what might be called the snap election.
Mm-hmm.
It was called to fill the vacancy created by the election of both Matthew Willard to council at large and Jason Hughes to City Council District D. And also to fill a vacancy left by Dr. Bowie when he retired from the legislature to return to Sino as chancellor. So there were 3 races on the ballot, and most of the neighborhoods included in those districts were in the downtown side of Canal Street all the way out to New Orleans East, including some precincts in the lower Ninth Ward. We found that turnout was, of course, terrible for a variety of reasons. One, because it was a special election and doesn't include the entire city. There was no big standard bearer at the top of the ballot, like a candidate for mayor or governor or president or congressman. So generally, we do see lower turnout in these special elections. But I have to tell you that I'd be interested in what Dr. Lee thinks, but turnout was a little bit higher than most of us had expected. In District 97, the turnout was about 16%.
Yeah, just shy. Yeah.
Yeah. Most folks wondered if it would break into the double digits, whether it would be more than 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Out in New Orleans East in District 100, the turnout was 14.5%. And in the Senate district, which included, we call it the Duck District, parts of New Orleans East, downtown, Lower 9, 30% of that district in St. Bernard Parish, that turnout was 13.8%.
Yeah.
We did find that that half of the voters in the 97 and 100 races voted early.
Right.
Half.
Yeah.
Really, that many?
Yeah. So I think that's really encouraging that people use the opportunity during an early voting period to pick their day and pick the candidates and go ahead and vote and get it done.
Well, we had some special challenges with respect to early voting, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
The very first day of early voting was the first winter storm that we had 2 weeks ago. And then the final day of early voting, a week ago this past Saturday, we also had some, unseasonably cold weather. So I think if we had had more seasonal weather, the early vote turnout might have been a little bit higher and the overall turnout might have been higher. But I don't know about you, but I had people asking me on Friday and Saturday, do I vote? I don't know. And only about 1 in 5 of the voters, 1 in 4 of the voters in Orleans Parish live in these districts that are electing replacements for legislators who have moved on to higher office.
Right. Well, we're going to talk some more about these special elections. And right now we're going to take a break because it's 8:10 a.m. Be careful out there around those school zones in particular. Watch out for the babies and the kiddos on their way to school. Please keep yourself safe. Keep the other drivers safe. Watch out for the walkers and the talkers and the watchers who might be on their cell phones or just talking with their girl tribe or their boy tribe. All right, watch out for them around the school zones in particular, and get yourself where you need to go as safely as possible. After the break, we're going to hear from State Representative District 97-elect Ed Murray, and then Dr. Silas Lee will be joining Jacques Morial, Will Sutton, and Ro Brown. All of that coming after the break. This is WBOK 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Real issues, real talk, real solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars because the real ones always stay informed.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here at WBOK. It is 8:12 a.m. I'm Will Sutton with Ro Brown.
Good morning.
Pretty good
Thank
stuff.
you for having me here.
Absolutely, positively. Always a pleasure. And pretty good overview from Mr. 411, Jacques Morial.
As always,
And,
as always.
So the election produced one winner and two runoffs. So right now, joining us on the Good Morning Show is State Representative-elect Ed Murray for District 97. Congratulations, Mr. Murray. Good morning.
Thank y'all. Good morning. And I apologize. I'm a little hoarse. I had been felt like I was getting sick for the last week or so, and I told my body just get through Election Day, and it did hold up and through Election Day. So I won't complain. But thank y'all so much for having me.
Well, did the election turn out the way you thought it might? Be honest.
It did. I thought it was going to be a tight race. I mean, 52 to 48%. I mean, that whole narrative, oh, my vote doesn't count. I can tell you it did. It does. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I think it was roughly a 200 some odd margin. Every vote counted. And so I'm very thankful to the district of 97. And I'm also very cognizant with that other people didn't vote for me. I want to make sure I'm making them proud as well, because I represent everybody now.
Well, sir, congratulations. This is Ro Brown. And by the way, our math may not be the best, but we kind of tallied it up. 238 votes, I think it was the difference.
Every vote.
Yeah.
Every single vote.
So you're absolutely right about that. Congratulations again. I'm going to ask you a question that I would not have asked you this time last week.
Okay.
What did your father tell you when you told him you wanted to do this?
He said, "Are you sure?" It's a lot of work.
And then what did he tell you about the job?
He told me it's a lot of work. It's a huge honor. It's a huge decision. It's important. It's not something you can half step on. He told me if I wasn't serious and I wasn't ready to give 100%, I should not do this. He told me, it'd take a lot of time. He said at times it'll be a thankless job, he gave me all the forewarnings, and I understood that. I'm thankful for his wisdom, but this is what I want to do. I want to represent the District of 97, and I'm very thankful to all the voters for making their voice heard, and ready to hit the ground running. We've already met. I've had some calls with some of the legislators, and we're hitting the ground running.
All right, we've got Jacques Morial on the line. Jacques, we're going to let State Rep-elect Murray go in a moment, but do you have a comment or a question for him?
Well, congratulations, Representative Murray, and congratulations to all the candidates who offered themselves, even those who did not win. And I encourage folks to remain engaged. I want to know from Representative Murray what his legislative priorities are. Does he have any bills that he's preparing to introduce? And has he talked to the Speaker about committee assignments yet?
So I have not talked to the Speaker. Well, I'll say I haven't talked to the Speaker. The Speaker, we've texted. We have not talked yet. We're supposed to get together this week. And I mean, my as far as committees, I've talked with some of the legislators about committees as well. One of my main things is homeowners insurance. Like I told people during this campaign, it is out of control. I really do want to add more funding to the fortified roof program. I want to see more fortified roofs here in District 97. And I also want to make sure I reach out to the commissioner and making sure we're really vetting these companies. I really hate these Johnny-come-lately companies that take our money for several years. And then, when you have a claim, they throw up their hands and say they're bankrupt. And now homeowners are forced to take pennies on the dollar. So that would be my first thing.
Okay. Wonderful. So that session is coming up quite soon. I believe it's March 9th. I think it is March 9th. That sounds about right. And so you got a lot of work to do in a very short period of time. Whole lot of reading and coordinating and scheduling. So good luck with all that. We'll be in touch. We look forward to seeing you be a successful part of the state legislature. Mm-hmm. Have a blessed day and get well.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
All right.
All righty.
All right. We're going to have Dr. Silas Lee join us now. Good morning, Dr. Lee. It's Will Sutton, Ro Brown, and Jock Morial. How are you, sir?
Hello?
Dr. Lee? Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, all right.
I don't know why it didn't work.
That's all right. That's all right. Technical issue on our end, I'm sure, but we got you, so that's the good thing. All right, so we got Silas Lee, Jock Morial. You all are on with Ro Brown and Will Sutton. We've heard an overview from Jock. Silas, what's your take on what happened on Saturday with one winner and two runoffs in this special election? How do you see the turnout, which was low as expected, but higher in 97 than I think some thought it might be?
Well, I'm not too surprised about the turnout overall. It's a little bit higher in 97. And naturally, it was a very distracted electorate due to the fact that, one, Mardi Gras, two, special elections do not always generate extremely high turnout, but you did have higher turnout in the 60th representative district. But it's a reflection of the fact that with Representative Murray's seat, it's only two people. Mm-hmm. So we did not, naturally, there was not going to be a runoff there. With the other seats, yes, you had more individuals running, and therefore a runoff was anticipated. And so I'm not too surprised about that. But voter mobilization and enthusiasm determined by factors besides the personalities of the candidates who's running, issues, if something is of dire consequence to the electorate, something they extremely want or something they extremely dislike, that generates turnout. And for many of these races, you had first-time candidates, but you also had candidates who had legacy names, were from legacy families, and that helped it generate some turnout or some interest, I think, in some compared to others.
So let me ask both of you guys, with these legacy political names, obviously there were two of them in the District 97 race with Eugene Green and Ed Murray, two sons of two prominent politicians and people who've been given to the community for a number of years. And then over in the state Senate race, Sidney Bartholomew. But with the way the vote turns out, it seems to me that it may have been a benefit and a disadvantage, with some people voting not for the name brand because they wanted somebody who didn't have a political legacy name, and then others saying, I can trust them, I know the family. And what's your take, Jock?
Well, I think let's bear in mind that the last time that Sidney Bartholomew II's father was in office was in 1993, I believe. The last time Representative-elect Ed Murray's father was in office was, I think, 10 or 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a little bit different in those cases than it is in the case of Eugene Green, whose father currently serves in office. Mm-hmm. There likely are, I would guess, that probably better than 65% of the voters weren't registered voters when Mayor Bartholomew was in office. So I think the legacy cuts both ways. I think voters often expect more of a legacy candidate. They expect them to be sophisticated and well-informed and generally more experienced than others because they may have grown up around politics and public policy and community service. So I think a lot of folks may read too much into the family name and the legacy name. I think the voters who voted in this particular election were likely highly informed voters, and they were informed enough and motivated enough to go and vote. And in that district, there were 84% who weren't informed or motivated enough to vote. So I think it cuts both ways. I'd be interested in what Dr. Lee thinks.
Yeah, in terms of legacy names, legacies are not automatically transferable. That's what we have to remember. So no matter what family you're from, it depends on the individual. And in this particular case, we have a different generation of electorate too. So you can have a legacy family name, but in terms of the generation that you are trying to appeal to, that can vary in terms of influence and mobilization. So we have to be very careful about stereotyping them or thinking that the legacy is automatically transferable to the next generation, whether that legacy is positive or negative. That individual must generate their own legacy and history and their own momentum, regardless of their background.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we have a winner in the one race for State Rep District 97, and now we've got runoffs for the two other races. That's House District 100 and
District
State
3.
Senate District 3. Mm-hmm. How do you see those playing out with another short turnaround for the March runoff election?
You probably have another low turnout, naturally. And look, it's not just a turnout. You have to have resources. In races like this, sometimes it's difficult to generate resources unless you're going to self-finance your campaign. So that's something we have to be aware of. It is not automatic in reference to turnout. Candidates have to generate not only the financial and human resources, but they have to work just as aggressively. This is a multimedia society now, too, and it requires more strategy. And due to early voting, that makes a difference because now, whereas in 15, 20 years ago, people would wait for the last week of the election and spring a surprise on their opposition. Now you have to be prepared to, one, attract and inform voters much earlier at a time when you may not have the financial resources and when people may not be paying them as much attention. So it requires a lot of dexterity and strategy that we didn't see at play 15, 20 years ago.
Okay. So, Jock, how do you see this playing out with the candidates who did make the runoff? Do you think that there will be any particular strengths or weaknesses? Obviously, people had to spend whatever they could to make it into the runoff. And ideally, you plan financially for the election and for the runoff. But it's tough, especially after a recent mayoral race that tapped a lot of pockets, and then other races in New Orleans and with other offices. What do you think?
Well, I think in this particular case, we've got the Mardi Gras Carnival season intervenes. Early voting begins this Saturday after Carnival Day, Mardi Gras Day. So I think, they have a very short period of time to make their case. It's going to be hard to get voters to pay attention until Ash Wednesday, but I imagine that the candidates are going to be working really hard to raise money because it is going to be, a big effort to turn out voters in this runoff. I think, we're probably looking at turnout at about the same level. That means a few people can decide, who gets elected. And, if you did not vote on Saturday and you live in Gentilly, New Orleans East, Lower 9th Ward, 7th Ward, Boscoville, Gentilly Terrace, if you live in any of those neighborhoods and didn't vote, I'm curious if you knew that if it was Election Day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And if you did, how did you know? Were you contacted by a candidate? Did you read it in the newspaper or online, on social media someplace? Did your neighbors tell you? Did your family members remind you? And if you didn't vote and knew it was election day, why didn't you vote? What was the priority over voting on that particular day? It only would have taken no more than 15 to 20 minutes, door to door, likely.
Yeah. Well, there's no day that is off limits for registering to vote. You can register to vote on any day of the year. That wasn't always the case, but that is true. And so early voting for the runoffs is February 28th through March 27th. And the deadline for registering to vote, even if you didn't vote in this Saturday's election, the deadline is February 11th to vote, register to vote in person. And to register to vote online, the deadline is February 21st. Okay. So that's after Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
You know, so even if you wait, you still can do it online. But I suggest getting it done by February 11th, doing it in person or mail, and making sure that you can play a role. These gentlemen just spoke to you about the importance of voting and the impact that just 1, 2, 3, or 240 some people can make.
238 was the difference. Dr. Lee, this is Ro Brown. How you doing, sir?
All right, how y'all?
All righty. Real quick, because, people usually ask you questions about, the numbers and all that and how it works out and all that sort of thing. But what do you think? Is there anything, do you have an answer on how we get more people to vote, how we can get them to vote?
Well, in terms of voter mobilization and generating enthusiasm, you cannot wait until election time. Really, that starts after the election. So you have to keep, the electorate and the community informed, engaged. Definitely, there must be more interpersonal contact with them. In this era where we have more access to technology, residents still want that face-to-face communication or some level of communication and visibility from elected officials. This is an attention deficit society. By that I mean people are overwhelmed with information as well as overwhelmed with challenges. So in terms of generating that type of enthusiasm, it is going to be episodic. It's not always going to be consistent, but it will require a level of creativity of maintaining contact and responsiveness with the electorate that we haven't seen before. And when I say responsiveness, voters want to feel that elected officials hear them, respond to them, and that they are not being taken for granted. And that's just a short analysis of what it will take. It's something that has to be customized on an individual level.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning for a post-special election conversation with our WBOK family of listeners. Folks, we've been talking with Jock Morial and Silas Lee. Shout out to State Representative-elect Ed Murray, who's under the weather and still made time to talk with you right here at WBOK. This is Will Sutton with Ro Brown. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to have more news and information that you might want to know about. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Starting off a new work week, we are expecting to be into the 70s all week and also more days with fog in the mornings as that humidity is starting to increase. Today, we'll see partly cloudy skies, highs between the low 70s to the mid 70s, and then we're expecting a midweek chance for rain on Wednesday, but then watching for this weekend as we could see potential storms for Saturday. Still working out the timing and details. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godance is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to WBOK. This is Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown.
Good morning.
And, man, what a good education and informational session with Dr. Salas Lee and Mr. 411, Jacques Morial.
Yeah.
Yep. So
always good info from them.
Yeah, and one of the things that happens with low turnout elections is if there is a runoff, there's an even lower turnout for the runoff.
Yeah.
So for those who are in District 100, the people seeking to follow Jason Hughes, Sidney Bartholomew, and Ken Barnes, they want your votes. And if you're not registered, go ahead and get registered because you still have time. And then
no excuse.
No excuse at all. And so you have time to take care of that. And then, of course, in District 100, the two top vote getters were Kenya Rounds and Dana Henry. So respectively with 33% and 30%. So neither of them got the 50% needed to be declared a winner outright. So that's something important that we're going to have to keep a watch on, and we're going to be reminding you about that because it's important. It's 8:40 a.m. Ro, and there's still some people on the way to work, on the way to school. Hope everybody out there is driving safe. There's all kind of news, and just when you think the man in the White House couldn't do anything more foolish or racist, that's what happened last week. I mean, what the heck? And so this was on his account. And so let me just pause and say, whatever I post. I don't have a team, okay? I don't have a team. Okay. And I understand that more important people, more prominent people, whether you like them or not, have teams. And they have teams who are watching and working with them, and certain people are authorized to post on their behalf.
Yeah.
But you choose them.
That's right.
You choose them.
And so they're working in your environment.
When they post, they're posting on your behalf or in your brand.
And they're working in your environment.
And your environment.
And they know what you would want, what you would not want.
They know. They know. Otherwise, they wouldn't continue to work for you.
That's right. They know what you would want.
Right.
And they know what you would not want.
So there was a pretty racist video that the White House initially defended.
Yeah.
Said it's important because it's about election fraud and how the Democrats stole the 2020. Can you believe they're still talking about that?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, that's wow.
I can.
And they're still talking about that.
Yeah.
And they use Jungle Book to get across their message about election fraud, and then include Obama.
It was The Lion King.
I'm sorry, The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King.
The Lion King. Right. Yeah. And which someone pointed out that there weren't any primates in The Lion King.
How about that? I like that one.
That's what I was thinking, trying to remember. It seemed like there was, but I've heard more than one person say there are none. And even if it's a staffer, I mean, like I said, the staffer does. The staffer is in that work environment, and staffer knows what people are saying, what people are thinking, and how they're thinking. That's why that staffer, may have the authority to post something. Right. But, I mean, who are we kidding here? And, my reaction, the reaction that I always look for in these kind of things are the African Americans who are supporting him.
Yeah.
That's the first place I go.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, like you've heard me say before, when some stories happen, I turn to Fox News on purpose, kind of, you know, just to see, you know, just to see, you know, how they're handling this, or if they are handling this at all. Okay. You know? And, you know, and that's what I did with this. I kind of, you know, I wonder what Tim Scott is going to say, you know.
Yeah, how about that?
And, you know, yeah, and, you know, I don't expect him to leave, or people like him to leave from the altar.
Right.
You know, I don't expect him to. I know he's not going to. I just wonder, you know, how they react to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, they reacted pretty much the way I thought.
And, of course, you're talking about the only black member of the U.S. Senate from South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott, a former Republican presidential candidate and a former candidate on the short list for Trump's vice presidency. And so he jumped out there rather quick and said, this is too far.
Yeah, but before that, he said, I pray that it's a fake.
Yes, that is the part.
Okay, that's the beginning of before he said that.
You're right.
You know, yeah, I pray that this is a fake.
Well,
and then he said this is the most racist thing, you know. But then the president called me, and that's probably all he needs.
That's right, absolutely. So
let's be able to say the president called me.
So this is what the president had to say as he was flying on Air Force One.
I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. And they had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on the Lion King, and certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it, and probably they would have had the sense to take it down.
As we mentioned, there has been a lot of reaction. Yvette Clarke is chair.
Okay, well, there's the president.
Yeah.
I didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, and he never makes a mistake. He's never wrong about anything. And, you know, here's the bottom line, okay? I mean, it's, to me, the bottom line for me. The country is being run by a strand of, you know, white supremacists. And, you know, it's no big thing to them. And this is the kind of thing they do. It's the kind of thing that they are, you know, that they don't see anything wrong with it. And this is what they do. This is what they did. And the president of the United States, you know, he's among them. He always has been. That's the bottom line for me. That's what it is. That's what we got going on.
Well,
and, you know, and this is just another indication of that being a fact.
Well, that's right. And there were still people coming out in support of the president and the video. I love the video. And that
they're going to,
crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, but there was also some strong backlash.
Yeah.
And there were a number of them. And but I really found Victor Blackwell on CNN to be particularly poignant. And so I wanted to share that with our WBOK family of listeners.
First of all, what more would they need to see? I'm sitting with that question after President Trump reposted something racist again. The president shared a video depicting the Obamas as apes. Senator Tim Scott posted that he was praying it was fake before acknowledging it was the most racist thing he'd seen out of this White House. We knew it wasn't fake from jump. The White House defended the post. In a statement, they said, please stop the fake outrage. Well, apparently the outrage was real enough for them to delete the post and then blame it on an unnamed White House staffer before the president then undercut that claim and said he watched the meme, but not the Obama part. Republican Congressman John James condemned the video, but after seeing it and all that the president has said and done and posted, James said the president is not racist. Well, what more would he need to see? Over the years, the president's excusers have said that he doesn't have a racist bone in his body and that no one knows what's in his heart. What more would you need to see? President Trump, to this day, emphasizes President Obama's middle name, Hussein. He famously pushed the baseless theory that he wasn't really born in the U.S. Why? What more would they need to see? He told 4 American congresswomen of color to go back to their countries. He posted a meme of Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero. He consistently refers to black female politicians as low IQ individuals. Why? What more would they need to see? The president asked, why can't we get more people from Norway, more Swedes, more Danes, none of those garbage Somalis, none of those shithole country Haitians with their eating of cats and dogs, Afghans out, Venezuelans out. We'll take some South Africans, but the white ones. What more would they need to see? President Trump says the cities of Baltimore and Chicago are hellholes. He specifically cites Atlanta, Detroit, and Philadelphia when he says he wants to crack down on alleged election fraud. Why? What more would they need to see? How many times can the president say or do something racist and elected Republicans continue to insist that he is not racist? What more would they need to see? Actually, set that aside, what they would need to say. You take full inventory, write it all down, and then write down the definition of racist and see what you come up with.
Hey.
Okay.
Go, Victor.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty darn good summary.
Yeah.
In his commentary.
You know, I mean, whether we want to admit it or not, you know, we have, and I'm not just talking about him. I mean, it's, you know, we have, you know, a white supremacist group running the country.
Yep.
Again. Yeah. You know, and some people say, well, we've always had it.
No.
But
not like this.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got a group of people who want to get it back to the good old days.
Yeah.
You know, that's yeah. That's what you're dealing with.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Well, I thought Mr. Blackwell
Yeah, that was good.
really nailed it.
That was good.
I thought he really nailed it. And I think the president did not. I'm glad he responded to U.S. Senator Tim Scott and said that he would have his people take it down. But then he goes on to say, no, I didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
There are a whole cast of characters. It's like, well, we're going to take it down, but it really was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right, but, you know, I mean, we're going to take it down because we
some
said so.
people don't like it. We'll take it down.
Yeah.
You know, but it really was okay.
Yeah. Another person, Congressman Byron Donalds in
Yes.
Florida, you know, black Republican who's running for governor of Florida. Yeah. His reply, what I saw his group come out with, he said, a staffer let the president down. You know, we checked with the president and a staffer let him down. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Okay.
Let him down.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're supposed to believe this stuff, okay?
Yeah. Well, wonder if
And I guess he does.
Byron Donalds feels the president let him down when he campaigned so hard and didn't get a White House position.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's getting something.
Well,
even if it's
we'll see.
Even if it's no more than, as Tim Scott, the ability to say the president called me.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. All right, folks, it's time for us to take a break. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. You're hearing us. You've heard some good conversations this morning. And there's still an opportunity for you to weigh in if you so choose. At 8:53 a.m., we still got babies and kiddos on their way to school, so please be safe and watch out for your speeds in those school zones. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of wills, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period, so they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government. Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and this is Ro Brown.
Hello, hello.
All right, so we got a caller. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You're on Will Sutton and Ro Brown.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me ask a question. Has any other members of Congress made any comment toward the racism that Mr. Trump is displaying now? He's so contradictory. He said that if you'd have watched it, he didn't watch it to the end, but if you would have watched it to the end, you'd have saw that it was about voter fraud. Well, either he watched it to the end or he didn't. Right. My concern is we don't seem to have any Louisiana delegation other than Troy Carter and Cleo Fields actually commenting on his racism.
Well,
maybe I missed it, Will. Maybe y'all could tell me.
There was one in particular. As you were asking that question, I made sure I was, wanted to be right. But there's a reason you probably didn't hear the comment, at least the key part of the comment that Hakeem Jeffries made. And the reason was it was 2 words.
Yep.
The second word was Trump. And the first word is a 4-letter word that begins with F. So,
But he
think
asked
they're
about
not-
Louisiana delegation.
Yeah. So I
Right.
yeah, right. But I'm making a reference to the minority leader, and so that was on social media, but it didn't make the network.
I saw it. So I saw it someplace.
You did.
Yeah.
You saw it. All right. Did you see that one?
I saw it.
Reverend, did you?
Because to tell you the
Cole?
truth, I thought, nah, this has got to be artificial intelligence. You know?
Yeah, buddy. I mean, I
That's what
said
I
two
thought.
words, but it's three. It was F.
So-
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
All right.
so then, is Scalise and Mike Johnson in support of what he's saying?
Well,
I'm having some real difficulty here that
yeah,
they don't find it appalling.
I hear you, Rev. But here's what I think about it. They know they don't have to say anything. They know they don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's unfortunate.
They know that. They don't have to. They don't have to say anything about this. They don't have to answer to anyone about it. And I'm sure when Mike Johnson is asked about it, you know, he's going to talk around it.
So if there's silence, then support it.
No,
Of what he says and what he does.
you make that decision. Yeah,
Because there's a brother who writes for the L.A. Times, and his name is L.Z. Grandison. If you ever have time, look him up.
I know him. Yeah.
And so the headline on his column about this was, Trump keeps reminding us why people support him. It's the racism.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, he
And
goes
that's
back.
why they
You know,
don't say it.
everything will go back to that eventually.
Yeah. All right, look, we got to make way for the front
All
porch. Thank you so much for calling, Reverend Calhoun. Lord's blessings to you. Have a great day. And thank you for those of you all who stay tuned and got so much, a chock full of info about Sentscapes and Tablescapes and the special election. And we heard from State Representative-elect.
And why
Ed
the NFL has a non-English speaking guy doing their halftime.
Absolutely.
Because they're trying to get worldwide.
Absolutely. Lord willing, I'll be back going tomorrow. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.